So I have found we are who we are by who we hang out with. And I was thinking this morning of the lady that taught me kindness. And so I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was probably 6 years old, and we grew up a little bit on the poor side, right? Rich in love, poor in money. And my next door neighbor, a good friend of mine, Mark Thomas, which those of you who heard my baseball story, it's that Mark, right? That Mark. Well, his mother, her name was Frances Thomas. And Frances, they lived next door and they had a color TV. And it wasn't just a color TV, it was a 27-incher, right? Which at the time was huge, right? That's the biggest they made them. And we had little, I don't know, probably about a 15-inch black and white. That's what we had. Well, every Saturday morning, the color cartoons came out. And how it worked was at 7 o'clock, black and white Tarzan came on from 7 to 7:30, but at 7:35, the Jetsons came on, and that was in color. And so what I would do is every Saturday morning and this went on for probably a couple of years until we got our own color TV, that I'd watch Tarzan, and then I'd run one house over and go to Mark's house, and they would have the newspaper delivered, right? Right back then, you'd get a newspaper in the morning. And so I would pick up their newspaper at the end of the driveway, walk it to the front door, knock on the front door, and dear old Miss Thomas, or sweet Miss Thomas, Frances Thomas, who, as I look back now, she was probably in her early 30s, probably something like that. And she would open the door, like in her robe and, wiping the sleep from her eyes. And I'd say, "Hey, Miss Thomas, I just saw your newspaper there and I thought I'd bring it to you." And she'd go, "Well, thank you, Carl. Would you like to come and watch cartoons until Mark gets up?" "Well, yes, ma'am, that would be nice." We did that little routine literally for a couple of years. And not once did she say, "Carl, if you wait until like 9 o'clock, the rest of us will be up." Because I'd sit there and watch the cartoons from about 7:30 until about 8:30, 9 o'clock or so, when the rest of the family would start to wake up and join me in the living room. And I just never forgot that kindness, or that she showed to me. And it just had a really a strong impact in my life. And so there's no real take home message here per se, other than, or call to action or anything, other than, just be nice to people, especially to the children. Because here it is, I don't know, like 60 years later, and I still remember very often the kindness that lady showed me. And anytime I see the kids doing something, or we got involved with the Little League down here, I think of Frances Thomas and the kindness that she gave to me. And the best way that I can honor her for never slapping me around and say, "What are you, crazy? It's 7:30 Saturday morning." Instead, she handed kindness to me. So yeah, just be nice, be kind to people, especially the kids. That's it. I'll see you next week.